Abe, I'm sure it's been a tough day when you hear that Coach Leach passed away. What did you learn from him?
What didn't I learn from Leach? Guy was he was an interesting guy, interesting character. They called him the most interesting man in college football for a reason. Certainly was. I can't even begin to tell you how much I really actually learned from him. Just on the football side of things, I mean, he was a mastermind. He was unique in the way that he approached things, and then just from the weird stories that you hear about him, coming out late to practice because he was talking to Donald Trump for 2.5 hours, just stuff like that. It's kind of a weird guy. I'm gonna miss him.
What did he teach you about off the field and growing up and being a young man?
If you had listened to any of his interviews where he was like a post-loss or something, you could understand probably how kind of hardcore and old school he was. And I appreciated that about him, so I learned a lot about just like brutal honesty from him and just kind of the way he took a no-nonsense approach to things. And that translated into football as well, he loved what he did. He took a lot of pride towards it in coaching, but he demanded perfection from every single one of us. And that's just something you try to carry into all phases of life.
Which coach recruited you to Washington State?
He was part of it, and then Clay McGuire, who's back there now, and then Eric Melee, who's down at Mississippi State.
Did Leach visit your home?
Yes, he did.
What was that like?
We talked about everything but football. It was a few years ago. I can't really remember. Him and my mom really hit it off, though. I do remember that. I talked about politics, history, where they were from, where they grew up. I just kind of sat and listened to it, to be honest. Just interesting things like that. In those moments, I knew I was making the right choice to go to WSU and be coached by him.
What was so unique about this system?
Air raid, like 95% pass, and it was very. You had to be super consistent to make it work. So to me, like when I look at like all the success that he had, especially like a lot of teams knew what was coming and they still couldn't stop it. Save for maybe a few, but the way that he was able to have success with that for a number of years, from his Texas Tech days up through really the Mississippi State days, was amazing.
All right, thank you, Abe.